use, and they are also raw materials to something else. So literally, there's a zero waste. There is nothing you are using right now that you want to dispose that doesn't have a second use, and that is what is primarily called the circular economy, using waste products into turning a waste product into something or a new product. So we are going to start something today. We'll start changing our behaviors from this event. So plastic culture has been nice to us to donate his collection materials to us. So right now, during this event, once you are done with your table waters and all, you must all donate your plastic here before you leave. So, and I hope that that behavior, you take that behavior home and you practice it, so we can all stop the. All right. So the last innovator is someone I really like. I've known him since 2018, and his innovation or his power stove have taken him to God knows how many countries and raised money not in naira but millions in dollars. And after he's done speaking, you can hold his trouser. I don't know. He might have something for you. I have to call him and ask him if he'll be in the country because he's always never in the country. Please help me welcome Mr. KSA for Power Stove. Please don't be deceived by the round neck. They know how to do that. If you see Mark Zuckerberg, he's always on round neck too. They're all these guys like that.
Hello, everyone. Good to be here. Port Harcourt never disappoints with the rain. My name is Okese. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Power Stove Energy. Before the idea of Power Stove came to me, it was just a happenstance at a discussion with close friends. And prior before that, I was a financial consultant, helping people to organize their books and also source for finance. But while I was doing that, it was paying. However, it wasn't sustainable to me because whenever a client comes, they want me to get the jobs done. So I was looking for something that is more sustainable and scalable. So while we're discussing it, one of my friends said, can't we just have a stove that can charge phone with this energy wahala? And I thought about it because I read physics. I said it's possible if I can put my car charger in a car and have my phone charged. I think that can be possible. So that was in 2017, but it took us 10 months to be able to figure a way around how you can be able to cook and charge your phone. And that opened a whole lot of opportunities for us. Fast forward to today, if we're not the top one, we're the second largest clean cook stove producer in West Africa. And what this has done, two things. We learned two lessons from it. One is, whatever your idea is, whether clean economy or clean agribusiness, it had to be innovative. And you must have a clear path of business model. Because no matter how you preach for people to be green, they must also look at you that is preaching to them to be green. How have you used it to empower or impact your life positively? So we moved on that path, and we introduced a lot of innovations that most times when we say this is our product, people say, is it imported from China? We understood where they were coming from because they always likened innovations to something imported. Now we're exporting our product from Nigeria to US. In fact, they are doing a UN convention currently now in New York. My stove is sitting somewhere in one of the offices. And it is something that when we look back, we are happy at what we've achieved. But there's still much more for us to do. Talking about business model, currently now, we are doing the largest cook stove project in the world in Nigeria, in 7 states. When we started it, even the Nigerian designate doubted that we could be able to pull it through by doing distribution, free distribution, 500,000 units of cook stoves in 7 states in Nigeria. We've identified the communities. And when it was announced globally, they were like, okay, was it coming from Kenya? Was it coming from South Africa? They said, no, one chap in Nigeria is doing it. So, hello? Okay. So what I want us to understand is that there is every government in the world is gravitating towards climate change, green economy. Every year, the country hosts what they call COPA 26. This year, COPA 27 is happening in Egypt. Egypt, yes. Last year was in Scotland or somewhere. So everybody is talking about climate change, deforestation, reforestation, but we also need to be smart coming from the business angle. How can we harness these opportunities? Because if you hear the world talking about one issue or the other, that makes it advantageous for you to be able to find a business model that converts the global problem into money in your pocket. And that's what we've successfully done. We have been able to find a way how we use carbon credit to be able to improve our revenue, enhance our business model, and also make our product quite competitive. My big oga, there was a company that wants to enter Nigeria. He's also a cook stove producer. Sometime in 2018, we reached out to them for partnerships. They are from Netherlands. They turned us down. So fast forward to 2020, they tried to enter Nigeria. My big oga said, no, you need to go and partner with Power Stove. And so when the guy wrote me, I didn't know it was their company. So it was at the bottom, while I was reading the mail, towards the bottom, and I was like, oh, Ogana, I'll deal with you. That thing you did to me in 2018. So, but it comes with a lot of hard work. It is not rhetoric. It's something that you need to roll your sleeves, be able to sit down. If you see me in my factory, for those who happen to visit us in our factory, you cannot differentiate us. You should be able to create that culture that your workforce should be able to approach you and be able to discuss issues that concerns the company and themselves. Because if they are not happy, it affects their productivity. And once they affect their productivity, your output is also affected. So we are happy to be here to share the knowledge that we've gained over the years. And I can speak freely to encourage everyone to go into green economy. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So Mr. Okese is turning people down from Netherlands, from anywhere in the world. So if he accepts to talk to you today, it's privilege because you are from Nigeria and safe to see with him. So the last person I would like to talk to bring up stage is an innovator that deals with water, cleaning of water and making water safe and adequate for people to drink. In regions like South, where waters are prone to spillage and all, it's very important that we see what innovators are doing in blue economy, just like Bankole said earlier. So please permit me to welcome Engineer Habon Hados, a lecturer from University of Otuoke. You like to present? Or?
Good afternoon, everyone. I actually came to present, but I'm just going to freestyle. Like you mentioned, my name is Adus Abon. I'm a lecturer from Federal University of Tweke. And how I came up with this, my solution or my innovation, it's called a solar-powered reverse osmosis desalination system. Forget about the whole long grammar. What it simply means, it's a system that helps to convert polluted water or dirty water into drinkable water. All right? Yeah, so that's what it means. So how I came about this solution was when I got back from Scotland in 2016, I made a trip down to an island called Brass Island, Akasa specifically. That's in Bayelsa State. And while we were going there, I went with my grandmom. I just decided to put my hands into the water. And when I tasted it, the level of salt was very, very high. And then when we got to the island, we found out that there was no drinkable water. So people simply rely on waters that they get from the stream, or they just get bottled water or sachet water. And as at then, I think a bag of the sachet water was about 70, 80 bucks. But in Akasa, they were selling it for as much as 300 naira per bag. You can imagine how expensive it was. And besides, Akasa, it's one of those islands or those areas in the Niger Delta in Bayelsa State where there is Shell and Ajip, where they do a lot of oil exploration activities. And for you to sort of imagine that in such kind of area, there is no drinkable water, which is one of the basic things a company is supposed to do as a CSR. Am I right? But the people, they don't have access to clean drinking water. So while we were going back, we went for a project. While we were going back, I decided to take a sample of the water, and I took it to Scotland to do some background research to know how I can profess solution to this kind of problem. Because, like I said, I'm a lecturer, I'm a researcher, we like to solve problems. Even when there is no problem, we always like to look for problem and try to solve. So I decided to do a research on it, and I found out that the salinity level of the water was very high. And as you know, in the Niger Delta region, we do have a lot of high level of iron and zinc deposit. That is why you notice when you, for those of you that have boreholes, you find out there's this yellow, or should I say rust-like or brownish particles or that comes out. That is actually iron or zinc, right? So the deposit, the quantity is quite high depending on the specific location you're at. So it varies. So what the solution simply does is that if you could recall, traditionally when we were very young, what our grandparents used to do those days, they just use their clay pot or calabash to fetch water, and then they put alum into it to allow the debris or the dirty particles to settle below, and then they carefully filtrate, right? That is what they do. But as you know, it doesn't necessarily make the water to be pure enough for you to drink. Am I right? It removes some of the impurities, but not completely all of it, right? So sometimes people are still prone to diseases like cholera, diarrhea, and sometimes it can even lead to death. Am I right? So I said, okay, let me do something about this. So the technology which it uses is called reverse osmosis. And as you all know from your physics, basic knowledge of physics, the movement of particles from a region of higher concentration to region of lower concentration. So that is simply the technology. So it has several layers, right? And then you put the water into it, or you channel. The source of the water is still the river that is full of debris, full of iron content, and even sometimes it has oil spill in it. But the solution or the system, it's able to filter off those impurities. And this system actually consumes a lot of power. So as someone that is into renewable energy, I decided to power this desalination system using a renewable energy source, which is solar. And it is actually not just solar. Let's say if you move over to regions such as the north, where you don't have where you have a lot of you have the solar irradiance, it's very high there. You can still also do similar stuff. So all you need to do is for you to drill the ground and then apply a solar pumping machine to do it. So basically, that's how that's what the solution or the innovation does. It helps in purifying water, no matter how polluted the water is, no matter how contaminated it is, into drinkable water for people in the rural communities to drink. That's it. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. My friend lecturer, he said your basic physics knowledge. I was looking at, hey, I don't have any basic physics knowledge, but again, you can really tell that my friend is a lecturer. He really went deep into it. So now we'll be going straight to our next session, which is one of my favorite sessions for today. We've all had different examples of innovations, opportunities that everybody can go into. So we would like to be a little bit practical. We would like to share of opinions about some problems and some challenges in the green space. So to do this with me, I would like to invite Jennifer Chendu, the CEO of Sustain Vibes. All right.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Is this supposed to be a youth event? Did I just hear hi? What's happening? PHC, what's happening? Is this place too cold? Did you hear the name of my organization? Sustain Vibes. So I bring the energy and vibes to sustainability. So PHC, what's up? Exactly. Okay, first of all, a round of applause for yourselves for making it here. We have a session that is really exciting. It's a session where we get to ask questions and you deliberate, and you'd be coming up, you'd nominate someone from your table to come up and present. So we want it to be interactive. Someone is going to drop questions on each table now, so you can start looking at them. And you deliberate for a couple of minutes, and we'll have a couple of experts also join you on your table, deliberate, discuss, and nominate someone to come and present to us, in terms of the responses. So we expect this to be very exciting. But to shake up the room a bit, I want to do a very quick, fastest response, question. And I'll go round tables and I'll ask you questions. So the very first person to respond, which table is ready? Should I just go around? Are you ready? Table 1. I just want the first person. If you know the answer, just raise up your hand. If you don't, I'll just pass. What's SDG 13?
Climate action. Climate action.
Sounded like you're not sure. Is it action or inaction? But correct. Okay, table 2. Nigeria is currently trying to transition in energy. Do you know? What are they trying to transition to?
Renewable energy.
What renewable energy? They're saying solar, but they're whispering. Who knows the answer? It's a clean energy. Nobody knows? Nigeria is trying to transition energy. Tell us. Thank you, Gas. The lecturer. So this is the UNDP table. I have a question for you. What's the full meaning of UNFPA?
UNFDA. FP. Oh, that's the Population Fund?
Yeah, but the full name.
Ah, yes, the United Nations Fund for Population.
Oh, thank you, agency. Thank you. Awesome. Is this table ready? Who won the climate launch pad in Nigeria? Ah. No, nobody knows.
I think it's Agric City. Agric City.
Agric City. So that's the brand, but I was asking for her. I wanted you to say her name. NAU. She's right there. Are you ready? No. Fastest question. Okay. Another word for sustainability.
Circular.
Well, yeah, I'll take that. Thank you. Which table I haven't gone to? Are you ready? Kingsley's here and he's a Sustain Viber. He's probably going to get it. When was the Paris Agreement launched? What year? You don't know.
It's 2015.
Yeah, that's correct. 2015. Yeah, thank you. Okay. How many times are you allowed to change your green business model? It's a trick question. How many times are you allowed to change your green business model? Does anyone know? As many times as possible. Trick question. Okay, finally. Which of these are not ways you can get into the green business or green economy? Being a community organizer, storytelling, activism, innovation, diplomacy, none of the above, all of the above.
All of the above.
Thank you, very correct. Thank you, a round of applause for yourselves. We're sharp, we're getting it. So do you have the questions now? Okay, so each table should have someone. Tosin, will you help me? Your mic is off. So who's going to?
All right. So I will just choose some experts to be on each table to guide the conversation. We are all meant to. Wow, I can see everybody already going into this. All right. Abigail, Abigail, please. All right, Abigail will be on this table. All right. Mr. Daniel. Yes, Mr. Daniel, please join this table. Please help guide their answer. No, no, you should join this table. I think their questions is more into what you're doing. Please join this table. Simisola, Simisola, please, can you join this table? All right, Jennifer, which table you would like to join? All right, Jennifer, you have resource survivors here, so, and there's no lady here, so join. This table. All right, so Mr. Benga, can you join this table, please? All right, so who doesn't have? Bankole. All right, Bankole, you join this table. Let me get you a chair. Yes, let me get you a chair.
Thanks, Tosin. Please don't forget you have to nominate someone to come and respond or present.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. So you are meant to nominate someone to come and read the answer for your group, and you have 15 minutes, please. Thank you so much. Do you have anybody? Do you have anybody in still? Huh? Yeah, yes. Okay. Maybe you can take pictures or I don't know. Alamde, Alamde, please come and join this table. Come and join this table. Daniel is already. Let me help you.
have about 3.5 minutes left. So by now you're wrapping up, solidifying your points. We ready? We have to.
About degradation in the system. Understand? Taking them back.
1 more minute.
Understand the terminology of the
It's so exciting to see young people talking about the green economy. 30 seconds left. Okay. So I'm about to call on our very first group. You're the first. Who is the first? Are you ready? Okay, to do this presentation, we would need the house quiet so we can listen to everyone. Is that fine? How many? Well, I'll give 4 minutes. Yes. Yeah, or 3. 3 minutes. Try and put all your points in 3 minutes. If you do it in 2, you've even won. So, yeah, if you do it in 2 minutes. Okay, we're putting our bottles there. We're recycling. Who is taking the incentive? Mr. Banker, who is taking the incentive? Green economy. So we'll practice and okay, who is presenting for this group? What's your name? Okay. Yes, you're the first. So we have Joy. Please, a round of applause for group 1. So they're going to be tackling this issue. Think about it. Renewable energy has been more stereotypical to solar, leaving the likes of wind and bioenergy. What is the future of other renewable energy, and what can be done to balance the sector? Very practical question. 3 minutes.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Joy, and I'm representing the first group here. So first of all, from the question, it says renewable energy has been more stereotypical to solar, leaving the likes of wind and bioenergy, which is like the first prompt. And this is because most times when you think renewable energy, the first thing that comes to your mind is solar. There are a lot of professionals here, so I mean, a lot of people have not really keyed into the idea of other forms of renewable energy, such as the wind energy, hydro energy, bioenergy, and other forms. So like that is why it is stereotypical. Now, based on the second prompt, which says what is the future of other renewable energy and what can be done to balance the sector? Now, first of all, I mean, we are in Nigeria, and we know that each regions in Nigeria, when we talk about the north, east, west, and south, there are different climatic conditions, yeah, and which would make different forms of renewable energy prominent in this area. For example, when you think of the south, you think of water. You think of the north, solar would thrive very well in the north. You think of other areas, and these different forms of renewable energy would thrive better in those areas. So this is one of the ways we can drive the adoption. Secondly, like I said, based on the first prompt, a lot of people do not know about other forms of renewable energy. Now, this is where we need to inculcate capacity building, trainings, ensure that people are aware of these other forms and how profitable they can be. Another thing we need to do is to encourage trainings and workshops in these areas. Now, just the way we have people bringing about innovative solutions in other forms of, in other sectors, in other sectors, yeah, like the solar energy, we can encourage organizations to promote things like hackathons. We have people these days that, they like, it's like, the way we have these essay competitions, we have organizations that come up with prompts and tell people to build solutions around, different prompts. Now, we can do this, we can encourage more people to key into these forms of other forms of renewable energy, and this way we can help diversify and break this stereotype on solar as this primary source of renewable energy. Thank you very much.
Joy, joy, joy. Bust my brain. Ideas everywhere. Hackathon, look at our weather. Amazing. So I want to go to this group because they kept interrupting us. So it's your turn so that you don't interrupt the next guys. Sorry. Yeah, let me read out the question. Joy even finished before time. So this is the scenario. Water is a vital part of the green economy. We agree, right? How can we ensure water safety in regions like the South-South, where there are a lot of spillages? 3 minutes.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. All right, so I and my team, my name is Good News Joseph, member of Agri-City. So I and my team, we were able to come up with some solutions, and we divided these solutions into 3 major parts. That means 3 major bodies need to take responsibilities of this, of providing these solutions to the affected community. So the government has a role to play. Communities, the affected communities, they also have a role to play. And the companies that are involved in this oil spillage, they have a role to play. So I would start with the community. To avoid this oil spillage, first, the community needs to provide local operatives, local security operatives to guide the pipelines. That's very important. Local security operatives need to be provided that these pipelines, these places where pipelines are installed, so as to avoid oil theft and oil vandalization. Also, sensitization on the dangers of engaging in this oil spillage. Programs can be carried out, skill acquisition, just to educate these affected communities, the youths and every other person, on the dangers of carrying out these oil spillage activities. Also, these communities, they can report those involved in oil spillage and oil vandalization to the appropriate authorities. We all know that they have water ministry universities here. Those people that are indulged in these activities, they can also report them to these appropriate authorities. Now we deliberate on the government's responsibility. First, the government needs to put regulations through enacting and enforcement of laws. They need to bring in laws and also make sure that these laws are well carried out. Anybody that disobeys these laws, they are either fined or they are arrested or so. So also creating an enabling environment for employment. We know that most of these youths, why they're indulged in this oil vandalization is because of they don't have jobs. So it is a primary responsibility of the government to provide job opportunities for these youths. Through the provision of jobs, you see that there is a reduction on this oil vandalization. So for companies' responsibilities, provision of basic amenities. Now we're talking about the green economy. So provision of basic amenities like clean, drinkable water. This can be provided by like our amiable and well-mannered lecturer spoke to us on solar power desalination system. We can be able to use his idea, bring up his product and sell it to these companies. They will install this product to provide clean water for these affected communities. Also, regular maintenance of equipment. The equipment used in oil vandalization can be regularly maintained so as to avoid system equipment failure that will lead to oil spillage. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Good news. Came with so much good news. Almost as if he was pitching for you. The company should just buy the innovation. Like, let's seal the business. That's green economy. Okay, let's go. Are we ready? What's your question? Okay, so this group is going to be looking at this. What kind of support do innovators need to have a breakthrough in the green economy space? Very interested in this one.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dandison, and I'll be talking about just answering the question, what kind of support do innovators need to have a breakthrough into the green economy space? I would also like to just give us a little background. You know, today I'm so excited about all the conversations we've been having. I know I don't have much time, but we should also look at green economy also like a sustainable economy, because most times we've just been talking about green, and you know, because I'm looking at it from the part of a tech innovator, and it's just basically talking about sustainability, how this is going to work in the next 20 years, in the next 30 years, and so on. So just to answer the question, we looked at two ways how the kind of support we will need for innovators in Nigeria. We kind of compared it to developed countries, especially if you look at, like, for example, the US, who is very, very, you know, very active in terms of supporting tech innovators, and then you just see applications and pop-ups, ideas that just run so quick. And we look at what we have here in Nigeria, and we think we need two key things, which is collaboration, and then we're also looking at political will. So the first one, in terms of collaboration, we need collaboration with governments, with the NGOs, the civil society organizations. We need collaborators with stakeholders within such environments. We need collaborators with private sectors. So these collaborations is going to also lead to capacity building. The collaboration is going to lead to funding, enforcement through the government, and you know, the media to also take our work, what we're doing out there. So, but we're going to really be focusing on the political will. I don't know how much time I have. So, for the political will, we all agree. In fact, it's almost impossible for any innovation to thrive without the political will. And if someone made a research and they said that in the next 20 to 30 years, the way the economy in the world is going to be run in a way where government is going to be at the center of running, going to be the center of running businesses. We can see how China, we can see even the Nigerian government is also doing a lot with the innovation of the e-naira and all that. So government is going to be doing a lot when it comes to policies to make innovations thrive. So the government is also going to be doing things like supporting small businesses, taxing companies, doing policies where companies can actually promote startups and institutions in different levels, also like the universities and all that. So this conversation is actually long. We can't exhaust it.
And all that. Thank you. But the one thing I didn't hear, your group, what's the one thing innovators need?
Funding, that's where collaboration, we talked about it.
You said it subtly. We need to be bold about it. Let's not be shy to ask for funding. Okay. All right, so a lot of investors shy away from investing in green businesses. Why do you think this is happening? And what would you recommend that green businesses should do to attract more investment?
Okay, good afternoon. My name is Henry Omenwo, and I'm representing the A table. We call ourselves the A table because we perform excellently. Yes. Okay, why a lot of investors shy away from investing in green businesses? First, we looked at several things, but I'm just going to mention the key ones. One is lack of awareness. How aware are the investors towards the line of business you've chosen? How well have you educated them about that? If as an investor, I don't know anything about the business, there's no way I will invest in that business. Two, what are the benefits and opportunities your business is proffering to me? Not just to me, to the world at large. If there are no benefits, why should I invest my money? So that's that. Then how well are you able to pitch your idea? How well are you able to communicate what you have? That's talking about the proposal now, the business proposal. And then your product. What's the product know-how? The knowledgeability and the market. What's the market? Do you have good market for your product? The product fit. How fit is that product to the time? And how sustainable is it? Then data. What are the data you have to run your business? These and some more are the reasons. Then for recommendation, which is actually the second part, and what will you recommend that green business should do to attract more investors? First of all, as a business person coming up with an idea, you must have a good listening skill, because some investor may not actually give you money, but some ideas that they will give you may actually make your business easier. So you must have a good listening skill. And then you must learn to create awareness. As you go, don't just start up with your business. Talk about the opportunities, the benefit this business tend to offer to people. And then the governance. Let's say you're not just starting up this business alone. You have a team. What's the governance of your team? Who are the people inside? Because I can't invest in a business where the people inside are not accountable. So you need to look at your governance. Your business needs to have traction. You need to register your company. Don't just come with, I have a business plan. Is it registered? Register your company and come up with such a name. Then get a good financial management plan. Then develop your ideas and learn to communicate your ideas. Because you can't come to me like, we heard a story where someone came to an investor and said, I have an idea. I won't tell you, maybe because of the fear of someone stealing his idea. But I need you to invest in my idea. How possible is that? Of course, we know it's not going to work. So when you have an idea, learn to communicate your idea. With this, we believe all the investors here will key into your business. Thank you.
Thank you. I see why they are called the A team. Very practical. Thank you. Okay, are we ready? Okay, so look at this scenario. We see a lot of recycling collection companies, but with little upcycling companies that turning that plastic into new products. How can we promote upcycling?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chidima. So, in response to the question that was given to our table about how upcycling can be promoted, first of all, I'll give you a brief introduction to upcycling. Upcycling is simply, at the simplest method, reusing non-perishable material instead of breaking it down to be made into new products. So instead of throwing it away or giving it to be recycled, you simply reuse it in your home for a new purpose. So how to promote upcycling? We have several suggestions to present to you all on how upcycling can be promoted. Firstly, we believe that more research should be carried out into upcycling and ways of upcycling and materials that can be upcycled to expand the current knowledge of upcycling, and so that more people will be aware of the terminology as a whole on how to practice it. Secondly, after research is carried out on upcycling, awareness should also be created for the general public and break it down and present it in a more digestible and fun way, so that more people can buy into the idea of upcycling. So once this research is broken down, it can be broadcasted to the general public via TV channels, through shows or programs, social media platforms, websites or blogs. All this would slowly create awareness of upcycling, and more people will become aware of it, and it will become more of a general way of life for people as they see, as this information is more accessible to them. Thirdly, the government, this is one way the government can come in through TV channels like the public stations like NTA, AIT, or the state channel like RSTV, or in other states. So thirdly, also on the government, policy frameworks should be created by the government to encourage upcycling with a reward system in place to carry it out. There should be incentives created for people to encourage them to upcycle. A lot of times, most people will not do anything if they feel there's no reward in it. So the government should just pitch in and create a framework for cycling and a reward system for it. For the sensitization of our immediate communities and a demonstration of practical initiatives and incentives to upcycle, like teaching people how upcycling will save them money, and showing them that it's in line with Nigeria's plan for a greener economy. After that, after sensitization of the economy, you should also teach people, you should change the cultural and mental mindset that upcycling is a poor man's thing. Most people believe that you should use brand new things all the time. If you use old things, you don't have money. So this mindset should be shifted away from people, and they should be taught that it's actually not an indication of poverty, but it's actually a way of wealth creation. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Very practical. I mean, I was almost confused when you talked about NTA. I don't know. I hope NTA is not here. I mean, but I saw they did something really exciting. I don't watch Big Brother, but a lot of people tagged me. They had an upcycling tax where they asked them to actually do a waste. Who saw it? Don't be shy. We watch it. Just raise your hand. But it was good because I think it helped to raise awareness. Okay. Have we done that table? No? No? Okay, let's do. Okay. All right, so the fintech sector, finance and technology sector, has experienced tremendous growth in the last 5 years. Can the green economy replicate that? If yes, how and what will be the critical success factor?
Thank you very much. My name is Esther, and I'm representing the Irish Potato Table. So our question, yeah, we do. The fintech sector has actually experienced tremendous growth in the last 5 years. Yes, they made life really easy, life really faster. They reduced cost and really increased the life expectancy. Like Piggyverse, you can actually save money right from your house, open bank. Open your account right from the comfort of your own home. You don't have to pay transport to the bank. So we're actually looking at how the green economy can replicate that. I have to question here how and what will be our critical success. First, we'll start with the how. Number one, here we should create awareness for business opportunities in the green economy. Yes, so many persons don't know about the business opportunity here we have in the green economy. Secondly, creating sustainability business model and also provide funding for startups, people that want to start up this green economy business. Thirdly, here we should also implement government policies in the green economy. Let government provide policies that will actually implement this green economy, and also bringing in and encouraging more innovator in this green economy space. Then what will we actually do to implement this tremendous success that the fintech company already has? Number one here is leveraging on internet or internet information technology, like building of apps, building of websites, because there are more people on the internet now, even social media, that we can actually reach to them for them to know about the benefits of green economy, and also treat the green economy as a business. We could also leverage this to by telling people that they could earn from their waste. You could actually also reduce cost by using the green economy, whereby when people access the apps, they don't need to go to the location there in order for them to dump or keep their waste. We could actually provide trash cans to them in their houses, then they dump their waste there, use the app to actually earn money from or buy anything they want to do. We could also implement the trade by barter system, whereas when people bring in their trash, we could exchange them to gifts, exchange them to different items. I think with all this, we could actually implement this and have a better and green economy. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Short and sweet. Talked about funding, accessibility, Internet of Things, very practical. Okay, so second to the last group. So this is very, very direct. What is the role of government? What is the role of government and policy agencies in scaling up the green economy?
Hello, everyone. My name is Ubong. Matthew. I'm from the green table. Let's call it the green table. Okay, so what is the role of government and policy agencies in scaling the green economy? We have discussed several ways the government can help. One is creation of favorable policies. Some policies are not favorable, so they should be reviewed regularly. They should be followed up, and they should on how to implement it, and also enforcement. And also the government and agencies can also help with the ease of doing business, because like we see some startups in the green space cannot do business easily. So we need to, the government has to come in through partnerships, through facilitation, through trainings, and whatever it takes to make doing business for the green sector easy. And also, how they could help would be through public education and awareness. The main issues that we see when it comes to scaling the green economy is that people don't know. And it's mainly the public that don't know about these things. So if there's a mass awareness and education, even in the school level, I believe that we can scale the green economy. And lastly, I would say the government can also lead by example, because personally, I've seen government officials, like waste agencies, who don't dispose waste properly. And sometimes they show bad example to the public. So you see a waste manager who is doing the wrong thing. So if the government are able to implement this in their own circles, to their own agencies, I believe that we can scale. People can actually see that they're showing by example, and it can help to scale the opportunities in the green economy. Thank you.
Thank you. You still have 1 minute left. But it's fine. I feel like you're almost like government, they kind of know what to do. They've not even done all the ones. Okay, so we have one last group, but I just wanted to say that we've come up with so many brilliant ideas. And can we already see that we can imagine, green economy thriving in Nigeria with all of these ideas? We know what to do. So imagine this population multiplied by, 10, 20% of our 200 million. If people are thinking like this, then the green economy can definitely thrive. Okay, so our final group. This is my group, by the way, so.
Christian Ayiba Tombara Ezepo is my name. The question we're asked is, what kind of awareness?
Okay, so what kind of awareness can be done at the grassroots level to get more people interested in the green economy?
In business, it's said that most people do business to make profit, make money. In the green economy, it's a double-edged sword. You get to win both ways. You win because you have both money, and you also win because you have a sustainable environment. That's the first method in transferring the message down at the grassroots level. The second method to bring that message down to the grassroots is by being inclusive. By that, I mean taking the message in a language that the people understand, in their local languages, in their local dialects, in their local way of communication. You go with the gong, you go with the flutes, you go with the dances, and the people get to listen to you because you are coming in a language that they can understand. That's a way we can bring about grassroots communication and get this message down. The third way is to bring about community. When we talk about community, we're making reference to every aspect. If members of a community are part of the process of taking decisions that have to do with their well-being, they will protect it with their life. So in providing solutions and that we want to get to the grassroots, we must ensure that this community is properly integrated into what you're doing. There's the aspect of gender and youth. You must always consider the fact that there's even distribution of population in Nigeria, and we have a large population of youths and women. If you don't carry them along, you are doing yourself a disservice. If you carry them along, you have a bigger opportunity to save the environment while making money doing so. Finally, and the most important, is the aspect of opportunity. Why do I say opportunity? Everybody is seeking for a better livelihood, improved lifestyles. If you can sell an idea that they are going to have a future if they embrace this idea, embrace this new concept, then you have something that can win. Let me tell a story. Peter Obi was governor of Anambra State. How many of you like bitter leaf soup? Bitter leaf soup, very well known. Okay, we eat bitter leaf soup, and because we eat bitter leaf soup, we wash bitter leaves and make the soup. Nigerians in diaspora began to request for bitter leaf to be sent to them so that they can also eat. But eventually, Peter Obi made it a policy to take the local bitter leaf, process it for export. but that was the lowest value chain. They got Nigerian scholars in the US to do studies on bitter leaf. Today, pharmaceutical companies are buying bitter leaf because of its anti-cancer properties. That's the opportunity. Thank you.
That's my group, y'all. That's my group. Okay, so a round of applause for yourselves. We've done excellently well. Listen.
All right, thank you so much, Jennifer. Please, a round of applause for Jennifer. The lady with the vibes. So, all right, so without wasting our time, we'll probably round up soon. We've all had our inputs, but it's also very right to hear from the experts in this in the green economy to share more insights. So most of the questions that we have all discussed. So to do that, I will invite my boss one more time, Mr. Bankole Toba, to moderate the panel session. All right, do you want me to invite? All right, so quickly to be on the panel, please let me welcome Abigail Butcher from GV. She's the head of marketing. Thank you so much, Abigail. All right. Also, let me welcome Mr. Daniel Chiagozi. Also, I won't even mention her name. She knows herself. The lady with the vibes. And also the past of CEO, Mr. Okese. We might need one more chair. And lastly, Miss Christabel. No. All right, so I have to bring your own chair. All right, please. Okay. Please, can I get the second mic?
Thank you very much, Tosin. And I want to say thank you to all of my panelists. I really appreciate it that you have the time to be here with us. So almost all of you I know, 3 out of 2, but again, I'm just knowing the 2 of you now, which makes it a lot more fun. So we'll be having a conversation here around the pathways for green economy in Nigeria. Generally, maybe it starts in the middle. Generally, it's we're looking at certain sectors within the green economy, from renewable energy to waste management, SMEs, value chain development, clean cooking stove, market scale, and all that. As you all know, that the green economy is becoming a bit more stronger in Nigeria by the day, from a development perspective to a research to an economic perspective, and whether we like it or not, in another 5 years, this becomes a full-fledged mainstream economy. And what we found again is that skill sets are diverting. We've seen a lot of lawyers converting into the green space, wanting to know more about laws around sustainability, legal framework for energy financing, and all those different stuff. We've seen lots of SMEs also springing up, wanting to do either plastic recycling, renewable energy sales products. An organization like REA has fulfilled the better part of its mandate, relying on renewable energy, to the extent people think it's called Renewable Energy Agency of Nigeria, but it's called Rural Electrification Agency of Nigeria, but they relied a lot on renewable energy and this. So now we want to have a conversation with many of you who play within this space, as you all are experts, and also to share a few insights around it. So let me start first with let me see, renewable energy. So I start first with you, Abigail. So you just tell us your name, where you're from, and then you can just go ahead and answer the question. So I want to ask you about what has changed in this energy sector. We know access to fund was a big problem. People did not believe that renewable energy, or rather solar, was going to be a very serious thing. People always ask you that, but it cannot last now, as if NEPA ever lasted. So, can you tell us what has changed? What did we do differently in this economy? You know, probably you can put GVE as an example for us to understand.
All right. Thank you so much. I'm Abigail Botcha, Head of Marketing and Business Development with GVE Projects Limited. GVE Projects Limited is the leading mini-grid developer in Nigeria, and we also dabble into commercial and industrial installations and residential solar installations. We've been doing this for close to 10 years now. By December, we'll be marking our 10 years in the business, and we've seen the highs and lows of the solar energy sector. To say that this has amassed us with experience to know what to do better is just saying a little bit of it, but thank you for having me here. Now, jumping to the question, what has changed? First off has been impact funding. That has changed a lot. The World Bank and the African Development Bank have been able to provide funding, what we call the performance-based grants and the OBFs, that help, defray costs of deployment, initial cost of deployment. We also have had things like the cost of tech drop. Last 10 years, the cost of solar PVs has dropped by 90% over the last 10 years. So that has done a lot to also increase the usage within the renewable energy space. And to add lastly, awareness within the people, which is something we take keenly at GVE, trying to educate people about renewable energy, because it's the way to go. It's sustainable, it is reliable, and it does a lot for you in the long run. When you look at your CAPEX and the OPEX for other fossil fuel sources, solar energy is the way to go. So ways we can do this better, or ways we see other green economies adopt better, is to collaborate. I think when we started in 2012, we were like, how do I put it, the tree in the forest, the only tree in the forest at that time. And we've been able to collaborate with people that we've known along the years, and we've experienced, a lot of improvement. So for other economies, they can also collaborate. That would go a long way in improving the sector. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And that again is setting the tone of how this conversation is going to go. So I have two quick conversations, one around SMEs, which I'm going to come to you, Daniel. But before I do that, I will ask you, Jennifer, about sensitization. I mean, you run one of the coolest, if not the coolest, community development platform that we've known around the green space in Nigeria, or rather Africa so far. And you'll be raising very green, beautiful green, volunteer focused communities, generating ideas and co. Are there lessons you'd like to share with us on how this growth has happened, or what have you seen within this space and this whole awareness, growth?
Well, very good question. so much to learn, so much that we're still learning. The first is because when we started, we looked at a youth-led approach, so young people being the agents and driving advocacy. We're realizing that young people are changing. So there's a big difference between millennials and Gen Zs. And businesses also have to realize that, even if you're looking at the green economy in terms of interests. We're also realizing that the idea of sustainable development has to start from sustaining yourself, your pocket and your CV, as it were. So young people want immediate benefits. So we're not developing a sensitization program that would just be to go out to the street. What does that mean for you? So a good example on Saturday was World Cleanup Day, and I know we had an event in Port Harcourt where over 70 young people came out. But we went on LinkedIn, and it's like everybody's putting it on their LinkedIn. They're saying, I did this, I was part of this. They want that recognition, and organizations need to be able to provide platforms for young people to be, affiliated with something good. So they're not just being used as volunteers. Rethinking the idea of volunteerism, I'm looking at young people as co-creators, partners in progress, and even actors and drivers in pushing whatever advocacy you're putting. And even this event proves that, young people have ideas, we're very creative, and we can get on, we have the energy to really drive some of these initiatives. So look at them as partners, and not just volunteers that are helping you to push your brand. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's Sustive Vibe always coming with a lot of energy. and again, you've helped me redirect what that conversation will look like around SMEs with you, Daniel. And that's because, you and I have been discussing about startups and ventures for like only as long as we can remember all our lives. And so help me. I know whatever it is you're going to tell me, I'm sure I understand it. But help the community understand that from your experience, how does using venture development and capacity development models, that you can use to stimulate young people or entrepreneurs within the green space, leveraging on also what Jennifer said about how not just doing programs for the sake of doing programs' sake, or set up a startup for the sake of everybody setting up a startup, but for this green space. I know we had that Google something a couple of years back, and we saw some really brilliant ideas. So can you help us understand more how your journey has been in this space?
Okay, thank you very much, Bankly. Number one, I need to say to everyone here, sustainability is good business. Everybody say it. Yes, that's the foundation. And until we start thinking that way, we'll be missing it. I'll be missing a lot. We need to quit thinking, let me not wish it. I would have said I wish everybody would not get grants anymore so that we can up our game and do our businesses. Grants are distracting businesses. And the only way you can become what you should become is to put your acts together and grow a strong, formidable, global standard business model around the green economy. And how do we do that? The same question we answered on my table. Fintechs have experienced great growth. What did they do correctly? What did they do well? What happened is that they started solving problems that everyday Nigerians use. *737. What do you use? Your own bank is star what? Everyone has theirs. Okay? There were success stories that came out of the fintech space. What did they do right? They went through incubation programs. There were capacity building trainings that taught innovators how businesses are run. They went through accelerator programs. Check most of the successful fintechs. You hear that they've been to Y Combinator or Techstars, or they went through a structured incubation program. People in the green economy space, if you tell them to come for an incubation program, they will say no. They would rather want to go to COP17 or COP27, Climate Week and all that, because that's where they will see those that will give them grants. But rather, what we should do is structure solid incubation program for people in your business space. Go through 12-week structured incubation program that tells you, that presses your business model, and then water comes out of it. And then you learn how to grow that water, and it becomes a very successful business. It becomes attractive for other people to put in their money. The success you see in fintech is that a lot of people started putting in their money, and the Chinese will always be Chinese. If they see anything working in any economy, they want to come into that economy and grow that economy. The Chinese will come with the OPE kind of green economy from their, and what it's doing is that it's expanding the market. Don't be scared of them. No, it's giving you more opportunity. It's helping you educate the market more. A lot of awareness, but first, the players must get it right. You need to submit to incubators. You need to go into accelerator programs. You need to walk through structured capacity building programs for people playing in this space. And with my experience, I've been interacting with him for a while, trying to help a number of state governments. We have like 7 state governments on our neck now to help them set up climate change desk. Okay, and the Nigeria Circular Economy Working Committee, I've been part of it all for a while now. The only thing I say in those platforms is that we need to do the same thing we are doing in the technology space for the green economy space or the climate change space. And with that, you will see the growth will happen. Okay, like there are a number of people I've identified here that I will be having money talks with. And then within the last 2 years, 1 year plus, we work with the African Development Bank to develop a document that is called Scaling Climate Action. It's available. I've shared the link with, they will bring up the link so that you can go and download. It's a toolkit for small businesses to use, the toolkit you will use and have access to global available funding, finances, people that want to do businesses with you. Because if you talk to my brother, I met my childhood friend. We grew up in the same neighborhood and all that. And he's playing in that space today. He wants to buy more lines. He wants to pelletize. He wants to wash. He wants to be able to do his recycling better. But the type of funding he needs, if he says it now, Bankole might not give it to him, but he would want to. But so there are funds available for him, but it's accessed by people in the Netherlands and all that. So we have broken down the toolkit into a layman's language. How everyone here that is in the sustainability business, you go, read through the toolkit, use it, formulate your business according to those standards. It means speaking the language of the bank. You know, until you speak their language, they will not give you funding. Okay? I have gotten a number of funding on a number of projects because I spoke the language of the bank. And that's the same thing that the bank paid for it. There are 2 volumes on me. So if you, the link they are going to share, if you read through the launch, it was launched in Gabon last 2 weeks. On the during the African Climate Change Week. You scroll down, you see link to the 2 documents. There are tools that you need to use to position your business well. I know it's green economy. We can just do prototype. No, nobody wants to see your prototype. They want to see that your business is scaling. Exactly. I asked one of the people there, say, how many units do you sell in a month? That's what we want to hear. How many users do you have? Somebody told 1,000 sign-ups. I don't want 1,000. Innovation Growth Hub. Innovation Growth Hub is a business creative technology incubation hub. What we basically do, we take businesses at idea stage, we bring them into our incubator, we walk them through process of growth, and then help them get access to funding and grow them. You can call us the midwives for technology startups. And then we focus on using technology to grow businesses. We were founded in Aba. We're an Aba-based business. Our head office is in Aba. And we're presently in Onitsha, Asaba. And we're opening 2 new branches, one in Enugu and one in Umuahia. Yeah, thank you.
So let me go to you, Christabel. Can you help me pronounce your surname, please?
All trade.
All trade, yeah. We're trying to argue. It's called arthritis. It's all trade. It's all tried. No, I just watched this movie called Dunes, and so lead family. I'm sorry. Thank you so much. Thank you, Christabel. So tell us about waste. I'm very interested in circular economy. I think circular economy is way bigger than any other economy within the green space, right? And waste is just everywhere. Not just this plastic that we all take about, right? Everything else is waste in one way or the other. Beyond this mitigating effect of waste, right? And in our environment, what else do you think we can benefit from managing waste very well?
Okay, thank you for that question. My name is Christabel Altrade, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of iRecycle Initiative. We are a startup. We're helping hospitality business owners, bars and restaurants to manage recycling performance over time and give them a platform where they can share it with their network, their users, their customers as well. So other benefits of waste, other than the obvious reduction of environmental pollution, is that waste, when managed properly, it creates jobs, right? It creates jobs down the line. So the recycling a ton of 6 brand perception, it improves the public perception of that particular business. So recently, people are tilting a lot towards the green economy, circular economy. People want to patronize sustainable businesses more. So if the public knows that you're taking into consideration the kinds of waste that you generate, and then you're taking it a step further to make sure that you manage them properly, more sustainably, you're going to attract more customers, more investments in the long run. So those are some points that I...
All right, thank you so much, Christabel. Still going on around this, this first leg. Okay, let's discuss money. You've raised quite a number of fundings everywhere. You've even refused some. Okay, he's refusing money. He's refusing money. Okay. I think all these are all points of having a growth or a scaled, focused business. And what will be the critical points you want everyone here to partner with you to do that?
Okay, thank you so much. I I want to share a personal experience, and I want to correct some impressions so that it will help us to grow. I'm someone that is growing. Last year I grew by 4x, and this year I'm growing at 7x. Is to build a nice app, a website, have a nice office with AC, and they go to CBN and pick the license that fits their business. But if you're in circular economy, you talk of machines, you talk of power, you talk of product, you talk of bureaucracy and supply chain management. You have a lot of demons to battle with. And you now talk about the users who are mostly might not pay your product because they have a lot of competing issues. And that is when grant comes in. I am one of the companies that have rejected investment. When I talk investment, I'm talking of USDs. Those who have watched me online on Lions Den saw me pitch. I turned down that investment and increased it. I'm not doing it because I have a lot of money, but you know that I have built a lot using grants. The first speaker talked about CapEx and OpEx. If you are doing something in green economy, CapEx is your headache. And you don't finance, you will go down. Because when we started to understand that whatever you are going in green economy, you are carrying a lot of CapEx and OpEx on your front burner. And what we've done successfully is to use grant to finance CapEx. Then we use patient investment to finance OpEx. Our revenue is there as a backup because we struggle with inflation, we struggle with Forex. So if you want to wait for your bank to give you maximum of 20K to import machines from China, your waiting period is a minimum of 5 months. But the problem is, even though you get it at CBN rate, 413, 414 naira to $1, but understand that if your machine is 50,000, you can only get 20,000. So you still go back to black market. And at the time you applied for this, using dollar was about 550. So when you are going to get it, it's about 600 and something. So in between it, you are not safe. So the business model we've been able to convince our investors to tell us to understand is that we used innovation to be able to differentiate our product, to compete the same shelf price with our competitors. And we lower our prices. My stove sells 80% lower than my competitors. In a green economy, you must first, I have Mercy Cups in our office. They are opening our market in Northeast. But I told them, I don't go into Northeast with my money. It's high risk. They said, yes, it's high risk, it's high reward. So they are putting their money, tens of millions of naira into it. Yes, yes. Then we are coming in. So they are pre-financing is 70%. We are bringing in only 30%. But it is grant, but it's grant tied to improving your business model. So grant is like a razor blade. How you use it, make or mar your business. Thank you.
Okay. Please, let me clear certain things, boss. You know, with our experience, we have financed all forms of businesses. You know, there are logistics startups demand more cash and capital than the people in the green tech. They buy trucks, they do trucking, and one of the things is that we need to see green tech as manufacturing. Exactly. And if it's manufacturing, you need to let real cash come into this thing. Like, for example, with the way we are manufacturing today, you can do 1,000 units in a month or that. But when we bring in real money, you churn out 500,000 units in a month. We do manufacturing lines. That's what we're talking about. No grant can give you manufacturing line. Well, what grant can do is open up. What I'm saying is that there are opportunities, sir. There are opportunities to expand our production. The first thing I've not used the power stove before. After this, I'm going to buy one, so I can take. I want to see how it's used, and we're opening in Aba. please, well, I want to see how it's used. I want to patronize it, and I want to see the scalability. How can I sell? Until I think in terms of how I can sell 1 million units, I won't be happy. And that's what is different. I want us to understand that the profit that will happen, the growth that will happen to the green economy, is when cash, a pipeline. For example, just imagine when you have unending pipeline available for you in China. So which means if you want to buy anything, you don't need to source for forex. Unending pipeline available to you in any country of your choice. And then you do that business, and is dollar in, dollar out, or naira in, dollar out, however you want it. The issue is that people want to see that there is business there, so they can put their money there and make money. Your own is to make money.
All right.
You might not necessarily make 100% as you're making right now. Okay, you might lose out some equity, start owning like 40% or 60% of your business. Others will co-own it with you and make money. Why we are struggling with your economy is that people want to own 100% and answer CEO forever. Okay, you don't want to hear that at a time. And it's possible he's the technical guy, and we want him to be CTO so that a business person will become CEO. I say, how can you be CEO of my company? And he's struggling with it. But through incubation and acceleration, you understand, sir, it's time for you to go and let the business grow. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Daniel. A round of applause for them, please. I like that banter. That was good. Let me ask you one more thing again, Abigail. Where do you think the renewable energy market is going? You saw the video about Imagine Nigeria. You heard how much it uses on production cost, right? And that's pure manufacturing. So again, where do you see the growth of renewable energy, particularly from your own side of the sector, and how does it fit market like his?
So where do I see renewable energy? Basically, according to statistics, it said that access to electricity for the population of Nigeria is at 55.4 right now. But the contribution of renewable energy is less than 20% to that whole, statistics. We want to get to a point where the contribution of renewable energy is greater than 30%. I mean, the Minister of Power came out some days ago to say that by year 2030, Nigeria is looking to start generating 30 gigawatts of energy. And we're looking at a contribution of 30% of renewable energy to that front. So we are looking to go into not just the rural areas like we've done through the help of agencies like REA and the rest of our partner agencies, but to also be in the urban areas, the peri-urban areas, because we are looking to serve the underserved and the unserved at the same time. So we are trying to also cut into production, where we have the commercial industries. We want to be the source of power for these production lines, these manufacturing companies, because it takes off the burden of the OPEX and the CAPEX for energy generation. I mean, in the renewable sector, most of the players have started going into what we call energy as a service. So they take off the headache of generating energy, let you focus on your own thing. We generate, and then we now sort out the issues in the long run. At that end, I'm doing what I'm good at. You are focused on what you're good at, and the economy is the better for it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Just one more question before you relax. Can you do it? Okay.
Of course, I'm going to do that after this.
Thank you very
much.
Now my work is done. All right, Christabel. Let's go to you now around waste. You've told us around the growth of the renewable energy market. Now help us understand. You have been playing with this in this space as a startup. You found your challenges. You've seen the opportunities. How do you see the waste management market in Nigeria going forward? What does the future look like for you?
I feel like it's a bull market, right? Because we consume waste on a daily basis. We generate waste rather on a daily basis. So there's a lot of waste to manage, and there's a lot of opportunities coming up in the collection, from collection to the recycling, upcycling space, there's a lot of things that can be done and that should be done. So there's like, it's an open market. We need more people coming into the market to innovate and then create more sustainable solutions. And then, of course, we need more money to do more.
Don't be afraid to ask money. Everybody needs money. Say the money. Say the money.
Yeah, so it's an open market. There's
What
a lot
about
of
equipment?
opportunities.
Tell us a little bit about infrastructure. I mean, how does it look like managing issues around balers, the power to, the energy to power balers and all those different things?
Okay, so we're not doing the process of conversion yet. We're just collecting for now. But from our startup phases, we're already going to be leveraging a lot on solar energy. So our collection vehicles are going to be powered by solar, and then the office as a whole. So we hope that when we plan that when we're ready to scale and become like a processing company, would also leverage on solar energy to do that. And then I'd advise other business people to leverage solar for their business processes. It's cost intensive in the beginning, but then over time it's going to be very it is going to be very cost effective.
In the long run.
Yeah,
all right, thank you so
run.
much. Please, if you've got questions, please put your questions together. Raise your hand so that West Tosin can help to coordinate questions. We can know how many questions we have.
Before you divert, I wanted to say something on waste. A space that we're looking for in the waste management space is study. We don't have enough study in. For example, my 8 to 5. I work on an African Development Bank project that is called Abia State Integrated Infrastructure Development Project, where I'm the technical expert on waste management. I'm a waste management person. That's my call, really, before all this money thing distracted me. The greatest challenge we have, for example, we had access to $50 million to implement an integrated waste management project for Abia, for example. But because we couldn't get enough study to back up that money, we didn't access the money. We had to use the money had to be moved to road construction, and then an extra $1 million is being approved for us to now seek an international company to do the study again. So everybody had run to the easiest way, the plastics. Nobody is thinking of the household waste. You don't, I can tell you the tons of plastic generated in Aba, but I can't tell you the actual tons of household waste generated in Aba. Because if you measure household waste in Aba based on what comes from homes, you'll be wrong. Because Ariara, Ekoha market, all those markets generate 3 times the waste that comes out from the homes. And from what we're taught in school, you measure household waste per kg per person produced and then multiply by population. But it can't work. So we need to encourage people that are interested in waste management. There is opportunity in the study space, in the consulting space. There's opportunity. And the beautiful thing is that there's also funding for people that are interested in doing stuff in that space. Okay? And there's a little money that is available for plastic. So everybody doing plastic here, after now, we just have a little tete-a-tete. I'll give you a link for a little money from Canadian climate change, something, so that you can access some money on what you're doing on recycling for plastics. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Daniel. Jennifer, Daniel, thank you so much. That money, good one. And Jennifer, you've heard everybody. Because you're the one that can help me settle this thing. Just help me calm it down. So you've heard everybody, right? You've heard the conversations about the possibilities of a growth economy and everything. So how do you help us see this future and as well manage the anxiety of whether we can achieve this future or not? You and I had one small conversation on green mental health or climate mental health or something, which actually is a serious topic. Climate mental health. Okay, it's a serious topic. Yeah? Okay, great. So can you help us understand how the scalability of this whole green economy and the management of the expectations and how that will look? Okay. And please talk about greenwashing a little bit too.
Okay, so many things in one. Okay, I mean, first of all, so I do work on the intersection between climate change and mental health. It's very niche, but I'm looking at climate activists, researchers, and scientists, and how to balance everything happening in the world with also solving the climate change problem. So, for example, Daniel here is talking about money, 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 and we're also talking about a burning world, a world that is in crisis. So people are having to break down with the pressure of that. And in particular in Nigeria, it's even more systemic in the fact that people are grappling with poverty and unemployment, with also the climate crisis and environmental issues. So a lot of my work has been in terms of looking at spaces to look at this issue, research, and how young people can find pathways. So when Daniel started talking about, do 1 million, I was like, don't give people here anxiety. Because it doesn't always have to go that path. There are different areas we will come into the green economy. There's someone here, I think he did a video for us for our World Cleanup Day, and that's storytelling. Lots of views. He will get his money from YouTube. There'll be a way to that. There's going to be a niche for everyone. So people have to start thinking about consultancy, research, all the different ways we can push this idea of a greener world and how we can, think about other professions. So we have climate lawyers, litigation, people are doing different things to advance the green economy. Don't think you have to be an innovator or a business person or get into an incubation. You will just, kill yourself with anxiety. So I'm well over that. I've found my niche in the green economy space and I'm thriving in that. Exactly. Okay, so again, I think to your question about, greenwashing, it's almost inevitable. So a lot of people, you talked about people are now liking to associate with people who are green. So that branding and perspective is coming. But if we have an aware and a sensitized population, like all of us, would be able to see between the lines, see the people who just want to make profit out of this. Now, we should also know that the difference between green economy and the current growth economy that we have is that one is capitalist, one is very exploitative, one is all about what can I take, what can I take? But we need to find balance, and that's how you'll be able to point greenwashing. Are you just about the units you're selling? Or are you thinking about the waste, the circularity, the impact, the people who lives? He talked about fair work, practices where you think about your people as equals. That's how we actually advance green economy. Thinking about people and planet prosperity. Thinking about our well-being. You don't need to walk, around the clock because you're trying to make millions. That's how we balance the conversation. Thinking about well-being and thinking of ourselves as people, a part of nature, literally, that we're all working together for environmental protection. Because at the end of the day, you can slump one day in this hustle for money. You don't want that to happen. So think more about balance, and that's what I've been preaching. If you continue your 1 million units.
Daniel, my sister. My name is Daniel Chinagozu Uchendo. She's Jennifer Uchendo. She's my sister. She's making you people, and we are from the same state. She's making you people see me like the devil. but the truth is that it's not all of us. The truth is what she has said is very, very true. There has to be a balance to all these things. Do you understand? You catch me today they gave me a topic to talk about money. And I have to tell you how to get the money out of the green. Do you understand what I'm saying? Ask him. I also have a vibe life. So
why are you taking this impression of that?
She was talking to me.
you feel attacked. All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. That was good. A round of applause for my panel, please. Because when she started talking about don't go and fall, I looked at Daniel and said, Daniel, they have caught me and you. Oh. This is our love for money. You should stop. Oh. All right. So you see, I always like to create that balance around conversations, right? And as every economy looks like, there's a lot of expectations, right? And we don't want to miss out on what is happening. For as much as we create opportunities for each other, we also have to look at the things that helps us sustain all that whole opportunity.
Even within the tech space, the fintech space, there's just so many confusion going on
Yes.
around scale growth. Were you accountable? Were you through? What else was there? Are you sure you had these customers before? And then we can't see the balance and everything. So in this space also, we also want to make sure that there's that balance so that whatever we have learned from the tech space, we don't jeopardize it here. And please note that because we call it digital tech space does not mean that it is not needed in the green space.
Yeah.
The green space scaling depends a lot on digital tech, right? From payments to automation to sensitization to PR and co. I think we spoke about green PR at the beginning, right? Yeah, at PR and co, you need digital tech to be able to advance all your awareness, all your designs, even fact checking, and whatnot. So, in fact, thank you on that one. Insurance is a very big deal, particularly on areas like this. The ocean is claiming more of its land. The land belonged to the ocean before. Now ocean is coming back. The ocean is claiming more, right? Riverine areas, coastal areas are suffering a lot. Livelihoods are getting lost. So we need to be able to balance that whole anxiety, poverty, making money, and when you open LinkedIn, you get worried. Anxiety used to climb people whenever they enter LinkedIn. Everybody's like a serious. Everybody's always doing one great thing in LinkedIn or the other. But please note that anxiety is real. Everybody feels it, and the way you manage yours, well, if it's good, share your tips. If there are not good ways of managing, keep it to yourself. But all in all, we've got a beautiful panel here, and I want you all to give a round of applause for all my panel.
Please, this is Port Harcourt. Port Harcourt people, please, I want to ask you for a favor. What we should take out from this event should be a community around this space.
Thank you.
That's one of the greatest things that have helped us in the technology space. People like Google developer groups, Facebook developer cycles, that's what changed the narrative. Please, collaborate, stop competing. When you see opportunity, share. Stop competing. It's not just one person they need. Share. We can start from here. Get and form a WhatsApp group of all the people playing in the green space here.
Yeah.
Add some of us if you want. We'll be sharing support for you from time to time. Form a community every month. Have a meetup.
So
meeting his garage.
So we have Kensarawewa Hub.
Exactly.
That will lead that ecosystem.
Are they here? Is anyone from Kensarawewa?
KSH.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, they will lead that conversation.
Every
right?
month, have a community event. The next month, visit another person's yard. See, let him share his stories, his challenges, and then you will prefer support for them. Everyone, sell for everyone. Put his product on your WhatsApp status. Collaborate. And then UNDP. You have done for Star South. You give us a date for Southeast. And the Lord will bless you, people.
Amen. Thank you very much. It's time for questions, please. But please note that the Kensarawewa Hub will come up. They're very beautiful, wonderful people. They've been really striving for innovation growth in the South. And so you have to work with them to be able to build this ecosystem faster. So Tosin, it's in your hands.
So questions, I'll take like 4 or 5 questions. Okay.
Yeah, mine is not directly a question, but I just want to say something. When Jennifer was making her contribution, she made mention of bringing all angles together. I'm a scientist and environmental biochemist by profession. During my second degree, I work on aspects that convert a waste to a useful product. During the channel, the waste, like some of our domestic waste, pineapple peel, orange peel, was converted to a product in which I used to remedy the environment. During this process of the production of this or making of this product, there was some release of some gases that can fill the depletion of ozone layer. So now, after all this, there's not support in which we can bring this to actualization. So, because most of our research work end up in a trash. But when we see an organization that is ready to support, look at this, a waste from environment to a useful product. This product can also serve as a fertilizer. We simply mean during this production, there's no a particular waste. we are converting a waste to something used, and at the end of the day, almost about 3 or 4 gaps are being filled. We remove the waste, we fill the ozone layer, which is causing a lot of climatic change and all those. Also, the same product is used to enhance the environment, which lead to our farmland. We have fertilizer. So we are looking at how an organization, a body can come into a partnership that most of these things are not just end up in a trash. So that is just my only 2 contribution, not just a question, but how we can bring the forces together.
So again, I work at the NCIC, right, which is the Climate Innovation Center. I think we should have a conversation about this, right? But typically for everyone else who's got an idea like this, right, documentation of your idea is very important. If it's a research-backed idea, please publish your research. If you publish your research, you have higher chances of getting funded than anyone else that has never published that research. So, I mean, there's a demonstration of a technology that we're using in Nigeria now that has been funded by the UK government on an Innovate UK, funding platform. Now, many of these organizations across the world or governments want you to partner with their own universities also, which is exchange of knowledge and transfer, right? And then you will get, whatever fund you get to first demonstrate before you turn into business. So, first step I'll say is find any of the research, publishing or publication platforms. Publish your research, right? Share it, let people comment, let's say whether it's true or not, and let's keep breaking. Because again, what happens is, if someone else takes that idea and runs it without your attention and you find out, you can sue because you have published already. But if you've not published and we take it somewhere and run, it will be hard for you to define or to defend whether you were the first to have that idea, all right? So the essence why they say researchers in Nigeria, no matter how small that research is, publish it. Right? Publish that research. When you publish it, if you're in a university, there's something called Technology Transfer Office in your university. They might not want to pay proper attention, but also domicile and register it there. All this different documentation backs up whatever strength you will have in having to build a funded or invested program, right? Because average financial investors does not understand all this. He's just going to say, you should say this guy's not a cap on top of this matter. But they will leave you. But when you tell them that, come and see, let me show you, and you play them a video, you show them everything. When OK said his stove could charge power bank and everything, all of us said, come on for ya. And then he showed us that his stove can actually charge even TV or desktop or palm top. If you're cooking, you can be charging with the same stove you're cooking with. It sounded like it wasn't gonna work. So we thought it was just yarning for the sake of business. But when he showed us, he made us understand that this guy is really saying the truth. And many people who were average investors, or rather even rich investors, didn't want to ask the technology behind it. They just wanted to know that, is this thing proprietary, or is it your own, or who else is doing this? So you need to help us a little bit, right? You need to document this, publish it, have some backup things around it, so that it is easier for us to tell anyone else who might be interested in you that see how far he has gone with it, right? It makes it easy. So I understand, but I'm just giving you upfront. So let's have a conversation about this, yeah? All right, great.
Yeah, good afternoon. I'm Sadiq from iTech Energy Company. Yeah, my thanks so much. My appreciation goes to the organizer of this event. And as I used to say, whenever I have the opportunity to inform people, like, that youth are the leaders of tomorrow, and we are going to be the ones to bear the brunt of climate change if a proper care is not taken. But my question will be going to Mr. Daniel, since he's talking about money. So I want to ask you, like, concerning the $100 billion climate finance that's being collected by the African leaders, do you think that's going to be channeled in a proper way of fighting climate crisis in Africa or in the other side?
Well, most of this funding is when you show your hand, you have access to it. Lagos has collected a substantial part of that money. Yes. You understand what I'm saying? And they just announced Clean Lagos something. So one thing is, let me tell you a secret. I always don't throw away government. If you come to your state and your state does not have a climate change desk, work with them, start up one. Find all the available funds that your state that is due to your state on in that space, and work with your state Ministry of Environment to assess it. The first beneficiary will be who? Okay. That's the first thing. There are funds that are available on different things. Nigerian Circular Economy platform, there are money for different states. And there are less than 13 states that are on that platform. Are you get what I'm saying? So most of this money you hear that is announced, most of them get to come out, they get to be used, but it's like New Map. Is if when you have projects, you apply, you get access to it. When you have project and the project document part is called project appraisal document is ready, you apply, you get access to it. The same thing with this. But if you stay outside of the government and just be doing one thing, criticize them, you will not know. So get closer, find out the gaps, and then find out, talk with him. Always, he's a great guy. He's Nigeria Climate Innovation Hub. He's doing well. Talk with him. He has access to all the knowledge. Anytime I want to do anything for any government, the only person in this country I talk to get all the information I need is him. The phone. Over the phone, he gives me information, I write it down, and then I'll put it on paper, submit to anybody, they accept it. I'm telling you the secret. So that's why you must have a community, and that's why you must assess it. It's available so you can assess it.
Daniel, when they call me, it's me and you the answer. Okay, great.
Okay.
But I'm always on standby for anyone who would like to learn more. Yes.
Okay, good day, everyone. My name is Emmanuel Otewasi. I'm co-founder and CEO of Soconomy Technologies. Soconomy Technologies. So we build and operate microgrids in marketplaces to provide electricity for shops. So my first question goes to Mr. OK, and my second question goes to Abigail. So, okay, I'm trying to understand more about your product. So I saw a picture online about your power stove, and it was actually powered by digital technology or pay-as-you-go. So I want to understand how you're able to access that. I do manufacture here in Nigeria all the components of that pay-as-you-go stove technology, or do you import the technology as well? The second question is goes to Abigail. You work in marketing for GVE, and I heard about your Wuse project. Congratulations on that. And I also want to find out how accessible are public-private partnerships in executing projects like that. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. This is a recurring question that we keep getting. Do you manufacture all your components in Nigeria? The truth is, there is no company in the world that manufactures all their components. Even automobile, even Mercedes-Benz. The airbag system is manufactured by another company. But you know, when it comes to Nigeria doing your own thing, now they manufacture everything. The thing is that the truth is that we manufacture it, but there are components that is not native to Nigeria. The diodes, the capacitors, we don't produce it. So you bring it, that's the components that you must bring in from China, obviously. Then you must have someone who's good in PCB to complete it based on your circuit designs. So the circuit designs is where we own our technology, which is proprietary. But those components are not native to us, we import it. Stainless sheet, even though we have their Jokuta mill, is not working. So import. So when we bring it, it's based on our design, which we have patent. So you can't have the same model, even in China and in Nigeria. We're increasing patents across the African countries we have interest in. Then the other question is, what digital components? We use IoT technology. So the IoT technology is based on SIM82, which has a SIM and a data that helps you to monitor based on, I'm going to go more technical, post-switch modulation frequency that helps you to charge the battery. Use 2G network. We use 2G network because we service most of the off-grid market. So the connectivity is low. So in 2G network, we are sure of getting it at a very low kilobyte. And it comes to our base server. Then another thing also we've done, which differentiates us in the cookstove market, is we brought blockchain into it. So each forum I preach, I say we have blockchain, they'll look at me again, what is blockchain doing with cooking? But what we've done is, which a very key issue that we've talked in this room a lot, greenwashing. When data is sent from Singapore, it's believed. Nobody wants to do backward verification. If it's sent in Japan, it's believed. If it's sent in UK, but if it's sent from Nigeria, how did you get your data? So it's a problem. But we found a way to monetize it. So because you doubt our data, we brought in blockchain, makes it irrefutable, makes it you cannot tamper it, and makes it that you can verify it by yourself. So once the server, the IoT sends the data, it sends it to the blockchain, and that brings another technology which we've pioneered, which is geolocation. So if you send a stove to my brother in Aba, I can tell my partners that he is using it in Aba because it has been geotagged. So those are the technologies that we've pioneered that have differentiated us in the market. Thank you.
You see why I need to get into his business.
Okay, so to answer the question you raised on the Wuse Market project, to give some context to what we've done, Wuse Market is one of the largest markets in the nation's capital. It houses circa 2,000 shops and runs 3,000 and plus generators. Now, we were able to go into an arrangement with the Wuse Market Traders Association and the Abuja Electric Distribution Company to power Wuse Market. GV is deploying a 1 megawatt solution to power the entire market. Now, talking about public partnerships that provide for ease of doing business, you need to identify the specific public organizations you need to make whatever it is you want happen. If for Wuse Market, we didn't know that AADC was going to be involved or REA, it would make our job harder. So you need to have proper research, know the people to meet. For us, we had a lot of agencies coming to help. REA was way generous in terms of helping with funding. They have the NEP program, which is powered by World Bank, that helps with performance-based grants. We also have, under a particular program, they have Energizing Economies. That helps with programs like this. So for markets that you do the microgrids, you need to go to the REA desk and find out what opportunities they have for programs like yours. They are very open with information. That would help you go a long way. And then you also have external partners, groups like GAP, RMI, and the rest of those. Once you do your proper research, these information will come to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I advise you see her after this so you can understand this. But REA, as we know, under Ahmed Salijo's leadership, has done exceptionally well in the use of solar technology to energize communities and sectors in Nigeria. Yes,
okay,
Tosin.
good evening, everyone. My name is Patrick. My question is directed to the recycling guys. A lot of your focus is on non-degradable waste, and nobody's actually talking about the degradable waste. And as we all know, that Nigeria practices the open dump system, and you can link that to climate change because of the gases that involve in it. My question is this: is it that biogas is not marketable, that nobody is actually going into that angle of green economy?
So, okay, number one is we designed a waste-to-energy project in Abia, for example, and we found out that Azumini is close to us, and they have the largest gas deposits. So it was cheaper for Geometry to buy gas from them than to buy the gas we are producing. So what it leads us, if I'm designing at design stage, is that the best use of my degradable waste is to do composting and then use it and produce fertilizer for farmers and all that and all that. I would not wait for it to get to the point of producing methane to get to the point. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's why the reason for me, because I checked that the price I will sell gas after I've done all the processing and the price the power companies will buy gas is, it doesn't make sense. That's why in my feasibility study, I say I'm not going to do this part. What I'm going to do is rather do the other one. Okay, but when I have the resources, I can now start thinking of bottling the gas and then educating the market to start using it, and which is a long thing.
Okay, so I just wanted to say we talked about it, during our session, looking at ways to think through. It's a problem and it's an opportunity at the same time. So be encouraged. Just because some people haven't gotten it right, be encouraged if it's something you're interested in. I remember working with this organization called Jobaye Environmental Services. So you can look them up. They work with Unilag, and they actually do biogas. They have the machinery and all. And it's also powered by a young person. Though he's starting small scale, it can be scaled up, but it's something he's passionate about. So whether, keep researching, keep finding, look for partners if it's something you're interested in. But I definitely think it's possible, yeah.
I might not be able to take everybody's question. So the good part of this is that you can walk up to any of them after the session. So
all right.
I will lock the door.
Let me just add something. He says something which is very important. When you are doing a business, you need to look at the perspective of your perspective of your users. Can they be able to use it? I'm doing power stove. Our power stove is powered by biopellets. Biopellet is produced from wood and agricultural, post-harvest agricultural waste. Last 2 weeks, we introduced biofuel. Before the introduction of biofuel, we wanted to go biogas. But when we asked people around, because what I normally do is if I come into a community, I just ask them. A lot of them said, 9 out of 10 said no. They said, how can I use waste and cook something where I go eat? So that's why when he said education, it's very important. And that education is money. It's not just by mouth. So if you are going to do it as a business, set aside a huge fund to be able to re-educate those target population that this doesn't mean that it will enter your food and it will affect your health. So that's why I don't have that fund, I don't have that patience. I abandoned it, I moved to biofuel. So biofuel at that time is like kerosene. I said, okay, they can use it. So you need to find a way to also, that's talk about how to convert your prospects to users that will pay. So that's what I want to add.
All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to say thank you to the organizers of this program. My name is Wanne Afronelli. Yes, I'm a Port Harcourt girl. All right. I just want to make a contribution. Like I teach people on radio, if we have to, like the thing says, imagine Nigeria, I think it should start with all of us in this room. We should be seated here about 60 persons, about 11 tables with 5 to 6 persons on each table, and I see plastic bottles around. I told Port Harcourt Echo, Rotary Club of Port Harcourt Echo, I was willing to sponsor the paper cups and the water dispenser. I don't know how this kind of event would happen here, and we're using plastic bottles for water. Imagine this kind of setting in 50 places in Port Harcourt, just Port Harcourt alone. You'll be generating 100 plus in each sitting, right? And multiply that by 50, and then multiply that by different cities in Nigeria and the world today. So I think imagining Nigeria should start with us and our actions. It's that simple. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And remember, drop your plastic bottle before you leave. So, all right. I'm not challenging. I'm just saying that we're ready for plastic. I agree with you.
There are recyclers here, but you need energy, you need resources, you need manpower to move those items. I have my water bottle here, it's reusable. Everyone would come for such a meeting here, like this. I mean, you can't be advocating for something and creating a problem.
Yes, I agree with you. I'm just saying, but for now, we should make sure we drop the plastic. Next time we are coming, please come with your water bottle. There will not be water for you guys. Water bottle. I guess it's, but I just say for today, please. For today, please. Yes, but for today, please drop your plastic before you go. It's very important. All right. So, I think we might have to end the session. I still see a lot of people with their hands raised, but please, again, I will lock the door, talk to and ask questions to any of our panels. Please, can you please give a round of applause to our panelists? And please, I would like to take the pictures. Benga, can you join the picture? And Olamide, can you please join the... All right. Say likes to be behind the camera. Say, do you mind joining? All right. 1 more minute for say. He's talking already. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Honor. Thank you. All right.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for your patience. One thing Mr. Daniel mentioned is trying to create a community. And briefly, I would like to introduce our friend from Kensarura Hub. All right. So it was just say one or two things on how you can reach them, and it can all form a community. I think that's one of the major takeaway from this event. So we can form a community here in Port Harcourt.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dom Seal, and I head the Kensarura Foundation. So we have a hub. We don't have those millions in grants yet, but we feel there's a need for us to have a space in Port Harcourt to actually think, to brainstorm, to collaborate, a place where you don't have to come and pay for rent and then pay for halls or be asked to buy diesel. So we have a space at 24 Agri Road, and we can always meet to discuss these things. We are on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter too. So keep in touch, get in touch with us. If you need meetings, you need to have meetings, you want to discuss things like this, just let us know. And we'll create a platform and the space for you to have your meetings. It is important we do this in Port Harcourt. It is important we grow these ideas and actually meet up with others out there. Thank you.
All right. Before we end the session, I would like to invite our friend, our representative from the Office of the Vice President, Mr. Halamide Fabuji. Please help me welcome Mr. Halamide Fabuji.
Hello, everyone. Okay, so just very briefly, I just want to thank everybody for a very successful event. You know, we've had very robust conversations, and personally, I learned a lot here. And I learned a lot about even things like climate anxiety. Never heard of it before. And so I think we'll be going away with the lessons we've learned. And as the panelists have told us, please let's try to make sure that we start to take the lessons we've learned from here and start to grow this community, because the people here eventually represent what will become a movement starting here in River State in Port Harcourt, today. Also, I'd like to encourage everybody to use the plastic bin and start to, that's how you start to to imbibe the lessons that we've learned here. Furthermore, I want to, more seriously now, thank the UNDP for their support to this program, and also the NCIC, who have also put this together, colleagues like my indefatigable friend, don't say here, and and they also say where she, Mr. Agbenga, and all the rest of the colleagues who were able to come here, and yourselves as well, for taking the time out to come and do this. So for those who will be traveling, I wish you safe travels, and yeah, I will see you soon. So please, also, very important, the UMDP is calling for, has made a request for hubs who would like to participate. So you can go to the UNDP website and register if you have a hub, and you take it from there, please. Thank you very much. All right.
All right, and again, I'll say to you, NDP, thank you guys for the souvenirs, but the next time, please add water bottle to it. Do you all agree with me? We should add water bottle to it. Say, Benga, the next souvenir, please, can you add water bottle to it? So we won't be giving it plastic water. All right, thank you so much, everyone, for your time. So some of the innovators here brought their products, and their end product is in the room here. You can all walk in and check the products. You can purchase some of them if you want to, but you can as well see the end product and see the kind of products we have around here. Thank you, everyone. There's still some refreshment inside. You can help yourself. Thank you.